Hi, everyone, and welcome to the 3 keys to communicating with confidence. So, for those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Mandy Siegel, and I'm super excited to be bringing this to you today to just share this information with you for stuff that I've gleaned and worked on and created for the last 31 years of my time, which has been spent on the stage as a singer and a speaker and an educator. And before I jump into sharing these 3 keys of what I have found to be the 3 most important parts to support you in communicating with more confidence, sharing your truth, and being able to do it with a lot more joy, because I know for a lot of people it can feel very stressful to speak up in a meeting, to get up and do a presentation, or whatever it is for you. So for some people, that's about getting on the phones and talking about sales, about sharing about your business. For some people, the fear comes up at a networking event and really feeling shy and wanting to connect and share about your business, but perhaps at that next level, it feels uncomfortable. So this is really about supporting you with some tools that I have used over my lifetime to help me find my own voice. And just before we get started, I would love to invite you to just come with me on a little bit of a welcome type of grounding meditation moment in time, because I think it's something we all need more often. And it's a pretty key, integral part of communicating with confidence. It helps you to be present in your body, whether you're on the stage or wherever you are. It's about becoming more present and more aware. So I'm just going to invite you, if you feel comfortable, to just gently close your eyes or just look down, whatever feels really comfortable for you. And we're just going to acknowledge ourselves, bring ourselves back here into this present moment, knowing there are busy times and outside of this moment, but right now, there's nothing you have to do, there's no one you have to be, except you, here, right now. So I'm just going to invite you to take a nice deep breath all the way down into the bottom of your belly. And then let it out with an audible sigh. And again, take a deeper breath into the bottom of your belly. And let it out. And one more, breathing in. And then let it go. And just allowing yourself to breathe naturally and easily, just bringing your attention, focusing your attention down into your breath and down towards the bottom of your belly. In fact, you might like to imagine your belly button and about 4 centimeters below your belly button and deep inside your body into your womb space or your creation space. And just bringing your attention there and imagining a big, beautiful ball of bright, white, healing light. So go ahead and just imagine that, or get a sense of that light sitting in your womb space, in the center of your being, in your power center. And with each breath, just feel it start to pulse or grow. Perhaps for you it appears as a light globe that you can switch on. And just being in the center of your being, allowing your breath to take you into the white light. Just imagine or get a sense of that white light growing with your breath. And then imagine that it just gently cascades or shoots down the front of your legs, all the way down to your knees, all the way down past your shins, down to your ankles, and out through the bottom of your feet, all the way down into Mother Earth. That's right. About 20 or 30 meters. And just as you breathe naturally, just feel your body in the chair or wherever you are. Just notice what it feels like as you wriggle your toes, feeling your back leaning, being supported right here, right now. That's right. And so when you feel ready, just invite you to come back into the space, nice and grounded and present. And I will share with you, this is the number one key in communicating with more confidence. It is about becoming present with all of your communications. So that's about being present as a performer, as a speaker, as a presenter, as a leader, as a parent for those who are parents, as a friend, as a business owner. The more present that you can become within yourself, the better listener you are, and the more inclusive of your audience you become. So it's the best way to ground yourself, become present, and get out of the way. Because the reality is, what you have to share and your message, your unique message as you are right now, is really powerful, and it could help somebody a lot. And it also will give you the opportunity to be more of influence in your business, in your career, in your family life. So once you can become more present, you can allow yourself to get out of the way, because let's face it, how many of you have fumbled over your words or lost confidence and got scared when you got up to speak or communicate? We all have. And it happens when we start to get fearful in our mind and we leave our body, we leave our instrument, we leave the present moment. So by practicing getting into your body, getting into the present moment, the words come. It's so much easier. And you can trust your voice from the inside first. And that is one of the keys to being able to communicate with more confidence. So let's jump in. I haven't always had a confident voice. I'm going to share with you a little bit of slides for those that are watching, but for those that are listening, I will describe it for you. But as I'm sharing my screen now, I'm going to open up this beautiful PowerPoint for those who love pictures. Here we go. And we're just going to start, and I'd love to share with you some of my journey for those who don't know me. So I have spent 31 years on the stage as a singer. So I started as a singer in bands doing jazz, funk, blues, and I had the best time. But before I could really enjoy it, I used to struggle. I was really deeply insecure. And so what that meant for me, I described myself as a bit of an introverted extrovert. And so what that meant was, yes, I had a lot of talent and skill as a singer and a performer, but who I really was, I was very scared. I couldn't talk in front of the audience. I could hardly speak between songs. It was excruciating. So there was a lot of insecurity, and it was a hard-won ally to be able to show up on stage and really be present. So I know in our lives we're so busy, and there's to-do lists and I've got to do this and got to do that. And for those with children, I don't know how you do it. I love you and congratulations, because that's a whole other level of mayhem. And of course, then we get stuck in our heads. So it can be really cut you off from your inner voice and from your intuition and from your presence. So I have over 31 years of being on the stage. I just kept getting up to really make it my mission to find who I truly am and be able to express that. And for me, like you, it's a work in progress. it always will be. For the rest of my life, I will be working on my shit and holding myself accountable and loving myself up as much as I can as we go through this life. So I've had a beautiful career on the stage as a singer, and I'm still singing, and I absolutely adore it. I love it, love writing songs. It's a great way of expressing. So I spent time on the stage doing that. And then as part of my journey to finding my confident voice, I actually spent 5 years full-time as this beautiful character here. He is a gangster rapper. His name is Motherfucker MC, and he raps and beatboxes live. And I had the most incredible time performing him in cabarets all over the world, actually, and in Australia too. And it was just a blessing for me as a shy person. It was great to hide behind a character and to discover, well, what is it? You know, how to be confident? How do you be brave? How do you be bravado and yourself? And, you know, he was very cheeky and really charming and funny. And so I had the blessing of hanging out with him and being him. So for those who can't recognise it, that is actually me, believe it or not. It was so much fun, and it's a great reminder to not take myself too seriously, because I can do that sometimes. And so he taught me how to have some confidence in a different kind of way, you know, to really express a different physical and emotional and mental confidence. So I spent time with him, travelling the world, doing big day out festivals, actually here in Australia, and also in the States and Canada, which was amazing. And whoops, wrong one. Here we go. See, look how brilliant I am, technically genius. To now, where about 10 years ago, I developed and started becoming an NLP master trainer and hypnotherapist and speaking. So I love sharing in front of an audience. It's a really joyful place for me. I still do get nervous, and that's great because it means I'm actually invested in it, and there's a fine line between nerves and excitement. And I choose to stay present to that because it allows me then to get out of the way and just really give to you and to my audience and really engage. And I love it. It's really a complete blessing to be able to do what I do, and I love it being a one-on-one coach and a hypnotherapist. Then I get to help people really shift the old stories and release those old negative blocks, the things that stop us from living our fullest potential. And I know we've heard that saying a lot, but it's true. That's the goal, and we're constantly working with the unconscious mind. So yay, I get to do that. And then, of course, there's more speaking in front of audiences, which I adore. And I love, most of all, supporting you in doing this for yourself, because we know how powerful it is to speak in front of a video. We know how powerful it is to get up in front of an audience so that you get to share your message with more than one person, because you've got something really valuable to share. And it's exactly how you are now and how you got to where you got to be now. And I've got this beautiful book I'm reading at the moment by a guy called Matt Kahn, who's really inspired me. And his book is called Whatever Arises, Love That. And it is just a gem. Anyway, one of the quotes that I found from him I wanted to share with you today at some point, and why not now? And it is this: in order to be who I was born to become, life couldn't have happened any other way. And I just love that. And what that means for me is there's nothing you need to change or fix, you know, or do. It's about you accepting and loving yourself right now and allowing for the discomfort of doing things that are new, allowing yourself to step forward one step at a time and just accept and love who you are and be right now. And everything you've gone through has gotten you to be where you are now and who you're going to become in the future. I don't know. I just love that. It gives me space and hope. So that's me for the moment. This is what we're going to cover a little bit today during the webinar. We're going to cover what I know to be 3 of the most important elements to allowing you to communicate with more confidence, to be more authentic, to speak your truth, to find your voice from the inside first. So here we go. That's what we're going to do. One of those things we're looking at is the voice, of course. And so part of that is about being able to control your voice and how you produce your voice. So your projection in front of different types of audiences, how to modulate that is very important. Also, the tone of your voice, how you speak, your intonation, your phrasing, and all of those things have a deep psychology in terms of how your communication is received, which of course we know is the most important part of it. Then we're going to have a look at your body and the control of your body, because I believe that your body is your instrument. And so we look at your postures, gestures, facial expressions, body language. All those things are really key in being able to engage with your audience the best way possible and get your message heard. Then we're going to have a look at mindset control, because really your mind is everything as well. You know, we've all been debilitated with insecurity and fumbled over our words and felt nervous and sweaty. I've had some clients who are in senior leadership roles yet still feel sick at the thought of presenting. Even though they know their stuff inside out and back to front, they're so smart. They've come to me with some of that stuff. So it's really about being able to manage your emotional state, manage those nerves to be able to then have more ease and joy when you're communicating your wisdom, your knowledge, your zone of genius, we like to call it. So that's some of the three things. We're just going to touch on them a little bit today. Of course, we go deeper into these during my programs and courses. And today is just really about giving you some tips to take away and be able to use straight away. And then, of course, if you have any questions, please let me know and we will talk about those, or you can email those to me or message me down below, whatever you choose. All right, so we have a look at the breakdown of communication. And it was done by a guy called Moravian, who did a study that it's broken down into three key areas. And they are the words that we use, they're the tone of our voice, and then there's the physiology, which is our facial expressions, our posture, our gestures, etc. So to me, it is absolutely remarkable how it's broken down and how our communication is received. So here it is. Unbelievable. So the words are only 7% of how powerful our communication is received. Then it's the tone of the voice, which is 38%. And then the physiology, like the body language, facial expressions, etc., is 55% of our communication. So this is remarkable to me, because so many of my clients come to me and say, oh my God, I'm scared I'm not going to remember the words, or I don't even know what to say in this situation. And everybody, all of us, and I have too, get caught up in what am I going to say? What words am I going to say? And yet it's the least powerful in terms of our communication and how we're received. So these are the three key areas, and it's really interesting to me. I was blown away when I first heard this. So it's almost like the words, that 7%, is only the tip of the iceberg in terms of what we want to manage and deal with in being able to have a more confident communication. Yeah, it's amazing. So next we want to have a look at then, if that's the case, which it is, that our physiology is the most powerful part of our communication, then we want to have a look at your body as your instrument. So I really know this from being a singer, having to master my voice within my body and really using my imagination, my tools, my techniques, my breathing, and the whole of my being to produce sound with ease and joy and power and gentleness and all of the above, and emotion. So I know from my time on the stage that it is about your body. Your body is your instrument. And what that means then is we have to inhabit our instrument all the time to get the best out of our communication and to really tap into our confidence. So one of the most important things to support you in being able to communicate effortlessly every single time is, ta-da, warm-ups. Being that your body is your instrument, you've got to warm up your whole body and your voice. Your voice is part of that vehicle of communication. And we'll go into that a little bit further. So it's really simple. I know it seems so simple, but it works. It is absolutely remarkable how much of a difference it makes when you warm up. So I'll just share some of how I use it. So before every gig, so I call all my speaking gigs. I call a workshop a gig, a singing gig is a gig, a recording gig is a gig. Everything to me in life, when you're going to share something, even a big meeting, or even when you're going for a job interview, or even when you are having a challenging conversation, they're like gigs, and it's about preparing for your gig life. So everything that's important to you, I use these tools. So warming up the body, there's some very, very simple things that I can support you in and show you today that if you do, you'll see, feel and know the difference instantly. Okay, so then we have a look at why it also works, is that it's very powerful by inhabiting your body, warming up your body. It's super powerful in helping you manage your nerves. So we know, and I mentioned this earlier, that there is a fine line between nerves and excitement. And we want to feel it, because if you don't feel it, that means you're not in your body. Because usually just before you're getting on stage or something important is about to happen, you do feel that adrenaline, and you need that energy to allow you to grow big and support and hold space for your beautiful audience, whether it's one person or 1 million. So yes, being in your body is super powerful to help you manage the nerves, as well as being present and inhabiting your instrument. The more you can become present in your instrument, the better your communication, the easier it is to know and trust your message and what you're going to say, and to find your words, and to get out of the way and to be of service, because I know that's why you're here. It's true. You're here to be of service to others, to support others in their journey with your message and with the beautiful wisdom and information and things that you know. So to be able to do that to optimum ability, get in your instrument, and get in your body as your instrument. So that's why we do it. Okay, and it is, for me, it is about being the communication. So you go past that place of worry and what am I going to say, and that's sort of like, that's a separation, isn't it? To, if you are in your instrument and being the communication, there is no thinking. You're just downloading and you're just trusting and you're just being. Now, of course, you will have done the preparation. You will have practiced in front of mirrors and in videoed yourself for whatever it is that you need, because videos never lie. It's a fabulous feedback tool and you can get help. So for some of my clients, they will send me videos of something important and be able to then shift a physiology or work with their voice, or, you know, find a new tool to help them, support them, be present. So it's really powerful stuff. So now what I thought we could do is to do a little bit of a very simple body warm-up. So here we have a picture of this, I reckon she'd be in her 90s doing a stretch with her leg up a pole. So she looks like she's doing the splits vertically. How amazing. And I've often said that I want to be her. I know I'm dreaming, but wow, you know, to be in your body that much and to know what it's like to support your body in that way. So really, we're going to do something even more simple. Now, being that I'm sitting in a computer, I'm going to do a sit-down version. It's a lot easier than attempting for you to be able to see me as I'm standing. However, this is how it does work. You stand with your feet shoulder width apart and unlock your knees. And it's just a beautiful way to just get grounded, shift your energy, connect to the earth, and then you can start doing the swish of your arms. I can't help myself, I'm going to have to get up. So you just swish your arms around your body, gently warming up the spine, keeping your knees unlocked, because that's really powerful to support your spine. So you're just gently swishing your arms around your body, gently, easily. And then what you want to do is you can lift up your arms all the way up tall, stretch up high, and lift up, and then drop them down and just flop forward into a spinal roll. As you can see, there's a woman with their legs bent, flopping forward. And then as you feel to just breathe normally, gently and easily start to come up from the base of your spine, rolling up the spine all the way up. When you get up to the top, unlock your shoulders, roll them back. Just that little bit, that's it. And then I'm going to invite you to just lift up your shoulders really tight, really tight, really tight. And then let them go with a big sigh. Again, lift them up to your ears, squeeze them tight, really tight, and let go with a sigh. Again, one more time. Lift it up really tight, and let go. Good. And then just shake out your hands, shake out your arms, shake out your legs. And then you can do a little hip shake or dance as you're standing. Just moving your body will really shift your energy as well. And then just give yourself a round of applause around your head. Now, apart from this being hilarious, the other thing is that it does actually have a purpose to wake up your central nervous system. So that's why we do it. And if you just notice for a moment, you can feel your body alive, a bit more awake, a little bit tingly. So this is a very simple early stages beginning of warming up. I have got another video on my YouTube. You're most welcome to go and find my YouTube channel and have a look at it. It's free. It's Mandy Siegel. And yeah, that will help you, guide you through a bit more of a warm up as well. And so that's the body warm up. Now, before big gigs, or any gig really, like even before today, deciding to do, doing this webinar preparing, I was up, I did yoga stretches, and I also spent 10 minutes on my stationary bike. Yay, new purchase. And just to get the blood moving, get in my body, warm up. It's really powerful. So you want to, if you've got big gigs, you want to warm up, get in your body, whatever you're used to, but always look after yourself. Never make it too strenuous so you've still got energy to get up and do what you need to do. So that's my tips on warming up your body. So we know that there are ways to actually promote and encourage complete confidence every time you get up to communicate in any arena, whether it's on a stage, in a video, whatever it is for you. And so we're going to share some of those. We know now the study of your communication is broken down into 3 areas: your words, the tone of your voice, and your physiology. So we're using a lot of body language. And then we know how powerful that is in terms of your body language, your postures, gestures, facial expressions. So we know how important it is to manage your physiology. So if you walk on a stage, or if I sat in the video, like this and went, "Oh, hi, my name's Mandy, how are you?" It's going to send a really powerful message. So how you sit. I've got clients who are going for new roles in businesses. They're working in careers and they want to go for a new role, and we work on some of the strategies for interviewing and what it's like. I actually spent 8 years in the corporate world and about 5 of those in HR. So I've done a fair bit of that interviewing myself. And part of it is allowing yourself to sit upright and your feet firmly on the ground. And, part of that is appearing open and ready and willing and positive. That's really powerful, the physiology of your body. So let's just explore that for a second, okay? I'm going to invite you to do a little exercise in your own home now, just to prove just how powerful your physiology is in terms of many, many things. So first, I'm going to invite you to just slouch down in your chair, and I want you to cross your arms and just bob your head down, like bend your head down. So you're just slouching forward, looking down, your arms are crossed. For those who can see, your arms are crossed, and you're just all slouched and hunched. And just stay there for a second, and I want you to notice how you feel. And just type it in the chat box. That's it. Sad. Down. Thank you. Flat. Yeah. Empty. Lonely. Exactly. Thank you. Exactly those feelings, how it affects you can arise. And that's just from sitting in a different position. So now what I want you to do is I'm going to invite you to stand up with your feet shoulder width apart, unlock your knees. You can't see my face, I want you to see my face. Okay. And then stand with your hands on your hips and look straight ahead and pop a big smile on your face. So it doesn't matter if you just fake it till you make it, right? And just smile and look ahead. And I want you to notice how you feel now as you stand with your shoulders back, arms, hands on your hips, like Wonder Woman, Superwoman. And just feel into noticing how does that shift you? How do you feel now? That's it. And again, type it out. Here we go. Happy, energized, thank you. Positive, strong, ready to take on the world. Exactly. Thank you so much. So it's really powerful, just that simple shift in your physical body changed your well-being, your mindset. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So you can use this every single time you're doing something important that you need to be present and in a good state, in a positive state. You can use your physiology to help you shift your mental state. And same, like if you're feeling, how many of you here have ever woken up feeling shitty, right? So we all have, or just tired. Whatever it is, you can actually do something with your physiology to shift your state of being. Amazing. So now, what I wanted to do is have a look at your voice and communication. And so here we know that we talked about before that people have lost their words or their voice, got stuck in their throat because they were nervous. I'm sure that you may have experienced something like that. So what we want to do is be able to have more control over our voice and how we produce the sound. So what I know from my experience is that the voice is one of our principal means of communication since the beginning of time. It's been our ancient mode of teaching, of communicating, of learning, of connecting, creating community, education. So if you imagine back in the cave days where we first started as human beings, there were no screens, there were no devices, there was no books, there was nothing. There were no books. So what we had were the elders sharing stories. And we learnt via metaphor, we learnt from connection, we learnt from gathering and communication. And so our voice was really the principal means of communicating, which I think is really special. It's not, it really is innate in all of us to be able to share and connect with our voices. So I believe personally that the emotions are made audible. That's what the voice is. It's emotions, our emotions made audible, which makes so much sense to me because how scary is it to speak in front of an audience? I've had people tell me they would rather run naked into a swarm of bees than get up and speak in front of an audience or go to a networking event, etc. And for some of us, it's great fun and it's really easy. And some of us just have bravado and some of us hide who we really are. Some of us find it easy. Whatever it is, the fact is your voice is your emotions made audible, and that is vulnerable. And somehow as a society, we have made vulnerability a taboo or a weakness, which in fact is untrue, completely untrue, because in my experience, your vulnerability is your greatest strength. So when we share our truth, sometimes that means about how we've had a hard time in the past, or that we're having a hard time presently, or that it's scary for us about something, or that we feel sad about something. whatever it is, it's a way of actually connecting with people. So if I just got on this video today and was I'm a world speaker and I'm great all the time, and this is how I'm going to share with you, okay, look, it's great, it's true, all of it's true. But the fact that I shared that I used to be debilitated with insecurity and I could hardly speak in between the songs as a singer when I was doing that as a full-time gig, you know, it's made me more real to you and to understand where I've come from to get to this place of now running my own successful coaching, speaking and training business. So the vulnerability is really powerful. And you know that when you, in your relationships, when you share who you really are, what's going on for you, people respond. And if they don't, then they're not the right people to be hanging out with. So it's really powerful to be vulnerable and to speak your truth. And so we know that working with the voice and how you produce the voice is part of trusting your communication and how you receive. It's like we're sharing air. And so, you know, if we were stuck in our voices, or if our voices are coming out like that, or, you know, it really affects the communication. So you can hear that I'm speaking in a really low tone. That's my natural tone. That it also is really powerful to open up. I'm speaking from my heart. I can feel, you know, my heart's here, open, and I'm talking and sharing with you from this place. And it's much nicer than if I was talking like that, you know, or if I was talking like that, or, you know, the voice, where it comes from, is really powerful. So doing some very simple warm-ups will help you. It's the key, actually. So it's the key to having more control over your voice. And there's a really, you can take this away now. So before you next have an important phone call or a video to make or a conversation to have with somebody, perhaps you have employees that you need to face and you're feeling a challenge, or you need to go for a new role at work, or you want to get out and get on a stage and speak and share your message, you will be able to use this tool. Hum. It's really, really simple. So with vocal warm-ups, you always want to do it within a very easy range. So it's never too high, it's never too low to start with. You never want to strain your voice. Because the goal is, if you're training, if you're speaking a lot, if whatever you're doing in your day-to-day, you want to be able to do it with longevity, and you want to be able to do it for a long time too. So warming up the voice is really powerful, not only to help you stay present and deliver with charisma and expertise, but it's also about longevity. So humming, very simple. So everybody knows happy birthday. So we just want to feel that gentle feeling of the tingling in your lips and your nose. So it's just a hum, like just feeling that now. Play with it. Okay, and then we'll do a little happy birthday together. So ready? And beautiful. Hum any melody you want. If you hum for a few minutes, what it does, it just starts to warm up the voice in the correct placement for you. This is your facial mask. We won't go into those details now, but it is. And we want it to be nice and warmed up. So that's one very simple tool. Tip of the iceberg, there's many more, but this is one you can use straight away. Hum for a few minutes to your favorite song. You can do it in the shower. You can do it in the car, anywhere you like. And it's a really great way to just warm it up. Then I also want to share with you another one. It's called a lip trill or a tongue trill. So the lip trill sounds like and looks like this. It's like a raspberry that you do on a baby's belly. Yeah, so the whole goal is to have loose lips. So for some people, you might be stiff in these muscles around your lips, so you can put your fingers under your jowls, like under the lower lip, chin area, and you can just do it again to support you, loosening up your lips. That's the goal. Or without your hands if you can do it. And then you're just doing like a siren, gentle siren sound. This is absolutely fabulous for warming up too. And you can do your happy birthday or your melody using that sound, the lip trill. For example, easy. So that's that one. You can use any melody. Do that for a few more minutes before you go to speak. It just loosens everything up. It's just beautiful. The goal with speaking or singing and doing it powerfully is to have your feet unlocked, shoulder width apart, open your body, be grounded in the bottom half of your body, and then nice and loose up the top. So your throat, your shoulders, your neck, nice and loose and relaxed. The next is a tongue trill. Now, 50% of the population genetically are unable to do this one, but for those who can, just have a go. And it's so it's like that. And you can put a smile on your face to help produce the sound. And it's just that. And you might feel tingle in your nose. That's perfect. Again, it's just... So you can use that for melody as well to help you on a melody. So, and you can alternate between the two. These are really simple vocal warm-up techniques to help you. I would also do lots and lots of big yawning to open up and stretch the back of your throat. So this is a beautiful thing in terms of the voice. Yeah. Okay. So we've done a body warm-up. We've done a vocal warm-up. Now I'd love to share with you a little bit more information around having a more powerful and authentic ability to communicate. So we looked and talked about being the communication and being present as a very powerful tool. We looked at the warm-ups that we've just done on your whole body. And we've also talked about how your physiology changes your state of being. They're really, really powerful tools. And why are we using them? Because we want to engage your audience 110% every single time. It's about bringing them in, inviting them in, welcoming them, and this is how you do it. So we want to now have a look at the third element, which was the mindset, and about being able to control the mindset and how you manage yourself, how you manage your thoughts, how you manage your emotions. Because here there's this beautiful description of mindset that is a set of beliefs or a way of thinking that determine how you behave, how you see things, and your attitude towards things. We have a look at here this other, I guess it's a picture of how the mindset creates the results that you experience in your life or the behaviours that you choose. So it starts off as a belief in your mind, something, whatever you believe, and then it moves into a thought that creates that thought. That thought then creates the actions and the behaviours that you choose. And then, of course, you get the results. So if you've always done what you've always, if you always do what you've always done, you always get the same results. And that can feel frustrating, you know. So it is about allowing for potentially new behaviours, new habits, new patterns, new ways of doing things to help you move forward and manage that mindset. All right, let's have a look. This is beautiful. Okay. So I wanted to just have a quick chat about the process of decision making in the mind. And it's because, and I really love working with this stuff. So, you know, as human beings, we are only using 5% of our brain as conscious people. Conscious mind is only 5% of who we are. And that's our will, our thoughts, our here we are, you and I having this conversation is only 5% of our brain. And you probably know this already, that 95% of who we are is our unconscious mind. They're the things that we aren't really aware of until we see them somehow. And so for me, the unconscious mind rules the school. So you can consciously want to change something or do something and be from will, but there's only a certain amount of will that we all have, and then that runs out. But the thing is, I'll give you an example. So I had a client who has been overweight her whole life, struggled with being overweight. So right from a very young teen, in her teens. And she has done diets and, she'll do them, and she's really earnest, a bit like me. I'm very earnest too. And so she did the diets religiously, stuck to the diet, did it all. She shed the kilos, lost the weight, and then would put it back on. And so it's been like this her whole life. So it was so beyond the will of her doing the diet. It was actually what we then started to dig around with was, what's the belief that's there underneath the will that's stopping her from actually losing the weight and keeping it off? Because she could lose the weight, she just couldn't keep it off. So there was some point in her unconscious mind that still felt whatever it felt, and for her that it was unsafe to share herself in that way, to be seen. Anyway, so we did some work, helped her release that, and she got to a place of being able to maintain a really healthy, lighter weight. And it was brilliant because then she had more energy, etc., etc. So really, how we think is so powerful in terms of how we communicate, how confident we actually are. So I wanted to share a little bit about this for those of you that will like it. I think it's really interesting. So this is how we make decisions as human beings. So an external event happens. Let's move my beautiful face over. An external event happens. That's a concrete black and white thing that's actually happened, whatever it is. Then what happens is our beautiful human mind will create a meaning, because as human beings, we receive information at about 2 million bits per second. It's coming at us, and it's too much information for us to grasp. So what the mind then does, an external event happens, and our mind then deletes, this is not moving, let's go. See what's happening. So then the mind distorts and generalizes the information according to the filters of our own mind. So we have many different filters in our mind that have been created all the way back from when we were born. So the 0 to the age of 7 is the imprint period of our mind. And as we know, the brain is like a sponge. So for those of you who have children, you will understand the brain is like a sponge. It takes on the information at that age as if it's the truth. But whose truth is it? It's the truth of those around us, our parents, our grandparents, our teachers, our guides, whoever's there. Now, some of that information is fantastic for our survival, and some of it is downright shitty. It's not great. It's come from their own wounds, their own life experiences, yet we've taken it on to be the truth. So we take information and distort and delete it and generalize it according to the filters of our mind. Our filters in our mind are our language filters, how we speak to ourselves, what we say, how we communicate with others, the language we specifically use. We look at then the memories, our memory filters, of course, our own decision-making filters and how we've created those decisions in the past. We then look at our meta programs, which is our own individual blueprint. And then we look at our values and beliefs. We have those filters of our mind that the information goes through. Once it's gone through there, then it creates an internal representation for us, our own meaning, which then creates the state that we're in, our emotional state, which then creates the physiology, probably the behaviour too. And here we go, then to the behaviour. So this is how we create and make decisions in our mind, in our lives. So it's really powerful. Could it be that it's time to make different decisions, that we're responsible for how we respond? That's what it means to me to be responsible, is how we respond to life as we know it. So we've created habits in the past and we do it the same, we've done it the same, and we think that that's the truth, but it's not. Who we really are beings of infinite love and light. And we've come here as humans, this is my belief, to learn, to upgrade, to elevate, to help humanity to grow and to raise our frequency as human beings. So we're agreed to go and work on our stuff as humans, and we've all got it, and you always have it, and it's about next level. So it's about life presenting itself to you, and it's how do you choose to respond to life in this moment and in this next moment and in this next moment. So nobody escapes trauma, nobody escapes difficulty, right? We're all in this together. But it's about how do I take responsibility for my response to this situation or inability to do something. I know I'm going to share, I find it very challenging to get online, to be consistent, to share, to find my words, to do it online. Like for me, I'm really a people person and in-person person, and it's such a journey. And I know it's all my mindset about the fear of being seen in this way or not being good enough to share my wisdom, to find my words in the written word is a bit more challenging for me. And it's just, that's what I'm working on. I'm constantly working on my own stuff here and being able to choose the behaviours that I choose, to really take responsibility for that. And I know it's about stepping up and stepping into allowing for discomfort and loving myself no matter what comes up. So really we want to have a look to how do you show up in the world? Because all of us show up with our unconscious baggage with us, and we all live incredibly transparently. So in your body and gesture and voice, you are seen and heard, and people respond to how we show up and how we are in our bodies, how we are in our voice, how we are in our being. We all live transparently. It is unbelievable. So I wanted to just share one other tip today to support you with body language. So many of you have expressed to me the challenge around, I don't know what to do with my hands when I'm standing in front of an audience, if I'm waiting to speak or if I'm on stage, and it can feel really awkward and you don't know what to do with your hands. So this is a really great tip. It is called the steeple, and for those who can see the picture there, great. If you can't see the picture and you're just listening to the audio, jump onto my website to check this out, but it's called the steeple, and it's a really great, powerful posture to support you in having a place of comfort and ease with your hands when you're in front of an audience. So feel free to play with that. It actually can feel a little bit awkward when you're first doing it, but it looks great. It looks really natural and it looks really comfortable, and it's really the psychology behind this move, this pose or posture is a little bit more open, and it does endear you to your audience as opposed to clasping your hands together or never put them in your pockets or behind your back. It's more trust. This endears more trust and helps you to stand there and feel centered, grounded and powerful. So that's my body language tip for you to take home today. If you ever feel uncomfortable, this is called the steeple. You can look it up and just practice it. Remember to keep your fingers, so here they're not like this, they're not closed, they're not open, they're closed close together, and they're strong, not loose. They're strong, and your thumb as well. So just rest it underneath your ribs, and wherever it lands naturally, go for it and just play with that. So just stop the video if you like, or the audio, and have a play with that. And feel free, please write to me if you have any questions or thoughts or challenges around that. I'd love to hear from you and we can support you. And remember, always power posture. Keep your feet shoulder width apart and unlocked. It is a really powerful position. It seems simple, but it supports your message being heard with clarity. It supports you listening intuitively to your body. It supports your voice and the production of your voice, incredibly so. Unlock the knees, unlock the knees. A lot of my clients will know that I just have to look at them and look at their knees and then they unlock them. So yeah, really powerful tool. All right, so this is coming to the end of our beautiful time together on this video. And I just would love to recap what we've covered today, because it's a lot and it is just the little bit, the tip of the iceberg, but there are some beautiful tools for you to take home and use them. So we had a look at the study of communication. We've had a go at your warm-ups and knowing your body as your instrument, how powerful that is to have your message heard. We've looked at body language and the power of body language, and vocal presence, how important that is to work with your voice in different ways to engage your audience. Of course, we looked at presence and the power of being present and how it supports you in sharing a message with clarity from your heart. Then we had a look at voice and communication. So this is amazing, how much your voice affects your message, 38%, amazing. So then we wanted to have a look at the power of vulnerability, and sharing your truth, sharing your story will help you to connect and communicate with people. So for me personally, it's all about building relationships. And this is why vulnerability is so much more powerful than pretending or hiding. It's about sharing how you feel, and it's really powerful. Yes, we did vocal warm-ups, lots of lip trill, tongue trills and hums, very easy and easy to use straight away. And then we looked at the powerful mindset, and how to help you speak with more authentic power and communication. So this is one of my favourite quotes. It's, if you want change, you have to be willing to get uncomfortable. As human beings, we all want to run from discomfort, but the point is to lean into it. And I know you've heard that before, but leaning into the discomfort will allow for new growth. That's what it's about. Growth, change, leaning into the discomfort is like that thing, the gateway to more confidence, to more communication, to more connection. So I encourage it. My next favourite quote is this one. Sometimes I pretend to be normal, but it gets boring, so I go back to being me. And that's all we can ever ask of you. And in fact, that's all anybody ever wants from you is you. The real you. That you share with your friends and family when you're really comfortable, that's you. And the you that you want to share any other way, all of it, the business you, the career you, the professional you, the joyful you, all of it, just be you. That's all we want. It's easy. So that's the end of this beautiful video. I want to thank you so much for showing up. And for those of you who have watched this video now, I would love to give you a gift. And that gift is a 30-minute phone call, discovery call with me in support of being able to help you to find your more confident voice, whatever that is for you. So this phone call is 30 minutes. It's usually $167, and I want to gift this to you for showing up. So all you need to do is Facebook message me, or you are welcome to email me. It's info@mandysiegel.com, and we can set up a time for you. So thank you so much. If you have any questions, please email me, Facebook message me. I would love to support you and help you further in speaking your truth. It's time. It is time for you to get out there and share your truth, share your message, and share who you are, exactly how you are right now, because you are perfect. And it's an absolute honour and a treat and a treasure to be able to share this with you. So thank you. Thanks for showing up. And I really look forward to connecting with you soon. Thanks again.